Okay, I will call the Tuesday, June 25th Board of Adjustments meeting to order. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the May 28th, 2019 meeting?
I'd make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That brings us to new business, a variance request at 4288 Clubhouse Drive. Maggie?
Hi. All right, so we have one request today. At 4288 Clubhouse Drive, the requested variance is for a variance in fence height. The reason for the request is to construct an 8-foot high fence along the interior side lot line. The current zoning is SR3, single dwelling residential. The allowed maximum interior fence height is 6.5 feet, and the applicant is requesting their fence to be 8 feet tall. This is the property. Some background information. The applicant is requesting the variance to install an 8-foot tall fence along a portion of their interior side lot line. The maximum fence height in the interior side yard is 6.5 feet, and the proposed fence would be 8 feet tall and 18 feet long. It would be placed 18 inches off the interior side lot line, and the requested variance is for an additional 1.5 feet in height. So based on our review criteria, there are 5 criteria that need to be met. The first is that the requested variance arises from conditions unique to the subject property, not ordinarily found in the same zoning district, and are not a result of the owner's intentional actions. So at this location, the neighboring home at 4256 Clubhouse Drive was designed closer to the property line than maybe a typical home in that zoning district. So staff finds that the requested variance does arise from a condition that is unique to the subject property, so that criteria is satisfied. B, the proposed project will not adversely affect the rights of the adjacent property owners. Staff did receive 2 formal comments on this application from members in that neighborhood. And staff finds that the addition of 1.5 feet in height as addressed by the variance would not adversely affect the rights of the adjacent property owners. C, the applicable standards will constitute an unnecessary physical hardship because the property cannot be used for an otherwise allowed use without coming into conflict with applicable site development standards. The implementation of an 8-foot fence is not required for the use and enjoyment of the property for residential household living. A 6.5-foot fence would be allowed under the current LDC standards, and staff finds that the strict application of the applicable standards will not constitute an unnecessary physical hardship because the property can still be used for an otherwise allowed use. So this criteria is not satisfied. D, the proposed project will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or general welfare. We have no data that identifies an adverse effect on public health, safety, or general welfare, so this criteria is satisfied. And E, the variance is the minimum variance that will overcome the hardship. Since a 6.5-foot fence is allowed, the proposed variance of 1.5 feet would be the minimum variance needed to allow the structure to exist. So our staff recommendation is to accept the findings of the staff and deny the requested variance to allow a side yard fence to exceed height restrictions in the SR3 single dwelling district on the basis that the review criteria of section 200914E1C has not been met. If you have any questions, I can answer them today. The applicant is not present to speak on our own behalf.
And just to clarify, you contacted them and they did want us to go forward with the variance request even though they're not here and that we only have 4 members, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions for Maggie?
The requested variance arises from the city's zoning requirements and not because of the conditional overlay. Is that correct? Or is it a
You're talking about the covenants?
right, the covenant?
Yes. Yeah, so the variance request is purely based on the land development code restriction of the 6-foot high fence and then a variance request for anything above that. So even if we did approve it, they still would have to meet the restrictive covenants for their neighborhood. So just so that's clear. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to accept the findings of staff and deny the requested variance to allow an 8-foot tall fence in the SR3 zoning district on the basis that the review criteria of section 20-0914E1C has not been met.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Wendell Dobb,
Yes.
Breen,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Love.
Yes. There is no other business, so is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.